introduce yourself and your link to the PHA UK?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Shaun Clayton. I've been working for the PHA now for around 6 years or so, over varying positions. I coordinate all activities that run through the organisation. Very diverse, lots of things. Try to do them to the best of my ability. Usually Ian gives me grief, but we always get there in the end. And I'm the last full-time member of staff that works here. The only full-time member, probably better to say. So if you phone the office between 9 and 5, you usually catch me or my colleague Helen, who's here up until 2 o'clock.
Oh, cool. And what do you enjoy about working here?
Not Ian. No, there's so many. I think it's the diverseness. I mean, we get people coming here a lot because we've got a lot of outside consultants who will come in and offer guidance and advice. And one of the things that they're always struck by is the amount of different things that we get to do day to day. So it's not. I've come from banking, sales. They're my previous positions, where it's very much you do the same thing every day, repetitive. This, I can be having a meeting with people such as yourself on a Thursday. Tomorrow I'll be going through and doing accountancy and making sure the books are up to date. Monday I'm going to go and interview myself. I'm going to go interview a couple of clinicians around our Focus 2021 strategy. So it's just such a diverse and different thing every day.
Oh, wonderful. So how long have you been working here?
6 years.
6 years. So a lot must have changed in those 6 years?
Oh, so much. So much.
What do you think's changed the most?
I think probably we've gone from, when I first started in this organisation, we're very internalised. So we had a lot of good networks with members, with clinicians, but it was always, fundamentally, it always came back into what do we think. So it was always the members of staff that would have sort of the final say. See, it's a nightmare to work with. Nightmare. I left him alone while he was doing his. But we've got a lot of it now is we work outwards. So we'll look out to people such as yourself, and we'll look out to people in the Focus 2021 strategy. A couple of years ago we did a report which looked very critically at us, at the PH service in general, and that fundamentally was to help us develop a strategy, knowing where we were going, where people wanted us to go. So if I was to say the biggest difference, it is that rather than us having the final say, we very much take on board all feedback, and we hope that that is outwards feeding in rather than inwards feeding out.
So you've done a lot of banking and accounting. What made you get involved with the PHA?
It was a complete fluke. It really was. A family friend of mine, Caroline Drain, she was in my position at the time, and she just needed some help for a chap to come in and do some heavy lifting and moving around and things. And at the time I was in training for the Navy, and anything that sort of involved any physical activity or anything like that, believe it or not, I would jump at. So and Caroline was a friend, so of course, so I gave her my weekend and sort of moved things around. And from there I just sort of, I don't know what it was, it just sort of everything seemed to fit. Everybody I met, people that were in the office at the time, I loved what the organisation was doing. So I kept volunteering, and then eventually a position opened up, whereas we had at the time a project coordinator, and his job was to just go to exhibitions and do sort of a bit of PR for the organisation and stuff. And he moved on. And so the position came available and said, would you like it? And I absolutely jumped to the chance. However, that did mean being interviewed by Ian Armstrong, who wasn't exactly the interview I'd expected it to be. But the most difficult question that he asked me, the most asking question, was how on earth would you talk to a consultant or a clinician? And I said, well, they're just normal people. They're just like me. I'm talking to you quite well right now. And that seemed to be all right. He then bought me a drink, and I took it from there that everything had gone okay.
Sounds good, excellent. So in your opinion, how do you think PHers, the public, can get involved with the PHA UK?
Oh, I mean, I'd implore everybody, anybody that's affected in any way of PH, so whether that's somebody who's an immediate sufferer, family member, friend, keen in any way to get involved with the organisation, because what I would hate for people to think is that it is solely there for, as much as we try to be, for the individual that's going through it. Family going through it as well, friends are going through it as well, kinship are. So there's numerous ways that they can join. They can either do it. We have contact cards, which should be in most specialist centres. We've got an online registration form. Most importantly, it's completely free of charge. We ask for nothing. If people decide to do things, fantastic. We're not going to say no, and we very much appreciate it. But we never ask for anything, and because we think that the condition is difficult enough without saying you need to pay us X amount of money to join. We just want to offer the information and be there for people.
Excellent. And finally, what do you think the future holds for the charity?
Long term, where I'd like to see it is, I think the charity is in a very unique position, which hold no ties to any particular specialist centre. So we don't give any preferential treatment to anybody up north, down south. I feel that we could be the central hub for PH in general. So we can pull stakeholders, NHS England and the devolved governments there. We can pull stakeholders such as pharmaceutical companies, academia, and we can also pull in, obviously, patient voice, which is most important. And then we've also got the specialist centres, so we can pull all of that here into one unique resource, and then we can all go in one direction, which is hopefully to improve the lives of people with PH.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much for giving
No
up your
problem.
time, Shaun. We
No
really
problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Cheers.